millionaire on the internet. Mano, ele não é solitário, porra. Solitário? Não.
The first rule of being an A-list streamer is brutal, but simple. Once you turn the camera on, you never get to turn it off. To the world, he's XQC, one of the most watched, highest paid personalities on the planet.
XQC is the biggest streamer on Twitch.
The fame, the 9-figure deals, the constant roar of 40,000 live viewers. From the outside, it looks like the ultimate success story. But that is not the story you're about to see. This story is much darker. Because sometimes you get everything you ever wanted, just to lose everything that ever mattered.
You get nothing. You're not the victim here.
Tá porra.
Now, every story about a downfall starts somewhere, and for XQC, it started at the top. Felix Lengyel was a professional gamer turned full-time streamer. Online, he went by XQC, and by early 2018, he'd already built a massive following. Over 200,000 people followed him on Twitch.
Mano, em 2018 ele tinha 200 mil follows. Eu peguei 200 mil follows quando? Mano, eu fiz 200 mil follows super duper rápido na Twitch. Tipo, foi coisa de tipo 6 meses, tá ligado? E depois estagnou. Eu lembro, mano, foi tipo em 2020, eu acho, mano. 2020 foi assim, ó. 2020, 2021, 2 mil follows. Tipo, 5 meses. Que era a época que eu tava muito hype no YouTube, mano. Tipo, caralho. Cara, tipo, mano, 200 mil follows na Twitch em 2018 é muita coisa, velho.
Already built a massive following. Over 200,000 people followed him on Twitch.
Sendo que na época, quando era o Ninja tinha 1 milhão naquela época, era absurdo.
And every night, thousands tuned in just to watch the madness unfold.
Nobody will take my virginity. Ever!
XQC was the definition of an internet troll. He talked...
Não, porque eu olho, como eu estagnei, tipo, o cara em 2018 tinha 200 mil follows e agora ele tem, tipo, 14 milhões, tá ligado? É como, tipo, eu fiquei fudido. Porque eu vejo muita gente que, tipo, mano, super estoura, mano, e tem gente que, tipo, dá uma misturada e para, mano. É foda, velho. Mas eu acho que a gente poderia ter ido muito mais certo se a porra dos strikes não caísse em cima de mim. Caralho, tava muito bom, velho. Tava muito bom pra ser verdade. Eu tinha que me fuder, né, velho? Caralho, puta que pariu. Na minha vida tem que tomar no cu pra caralho. Não é possível. Alguma coisa tá vindo, não é possível.
Said whatever popped into his head. And yeah, he wasn't exactly the cleanest guy around, but that's not really...
Não foi na pandemia que eu ganhei esses 200 mil, não, cara.
The point, because he could make quite literally anything entertaining. Back then, the magic was in his reactions. It really didn't matter what happened. Dying in game, getting stream sniped, some annoying TTS donation. He'd explode, lose his mind, and somehow make it hilarious. But over time, the chat started catching on. They realized that the more they pushed him, the better content got. So it kind of became this game. Who could piss him off the most? Who could get the biggest reaction? Every week, the stunts got worse, and what started as harmless trolling was slowly turning into something meaner. The line between the stream and real life was starting to blur. And in about 2 seconds, someone was about to take it too far.
Fala nada.
I'm coming out.
SWAT? É SWAT.
Yes. What?
É.
Hands up.
Isso é foda, mano. Maluco, porra. Maluco é muito filho da puta em live, meu.
For the first time in his life, Felix found himself staring down the barrels of a few standard issue LAPD Glocks. A viewer from his stream had found his home address and called the police reporting a violent threat. This is known as swatting. It's an internet prank that's gotten people killed before. And for Felix, this was the moment that changed everything.
He had 3 guns at me. What the?
He realized that being live meant being exposed, that anyone with a grudge or a twisted sense of humor could reach through the screen and make his real life collapse in seconds. So he started closing doors. No more personal details, no leaks, no risks. His addresses, his circle, and even what he said on stream.
Mas nunca tem que ter isso também, pô. Tem que deixar você comer merda.
All of it got locked down. From that point forward, XQC was...
Oh, não vai falar da história dele dele ser expulso de casa, não, mano?
There was the version everyone knew. The chaotic, high-energy streamer who seemed to live entirely online.
I just wanna play the game.
Nossa, esse tampico é doideira.
And then there was
da geladeira é o absurdo.
Other side, the one he kept completely off camera.
Bizarro, porque ele ficava muito na merda, mano. Ele era muito na merda e hoje ele é absurdo, velho. Tipo, é porque americano e canadense, ele é muito de boa, né? Os caras sempre tem muita grana, é muito bem, blá blá blá. Mas esse cara, ele era bem fudido, mano. Você olhava nas lives, além de ter uma bagunça pra caralho, mas tinha uma época ali que você via as lives dele o fundo dele, a live de Overwatch, e fala, caralho, esse cara é fudido, mano.
That's where this story
E a gente sempre tem a visão que o americano tem muita grana, é muito bem, casa boa, etc. Mano, ele era fudido, velho.
gets interesting. Because what the internet thought they were watching
Farmou, velho. Agora farmou. O mais rico que tem, eu acho.
wasn't real life. It was a
Não,
reflection
acho que o mais rico... Mano, ele acho que é o terceiro mais rico. Não, o segundo mais rico. Acho que o mais rico é o Trainwreck, que tem porcentagem da Kick, né?
stitched together from a million half-truths. What
Tirando
was
o Mr. Beast, né?
actually happening behind the scenes is a whole different story. With Felix's address being leaked online, he realized he needed to move. He left his apartment.
Nossa, telona? Caralho! Só tela pica.
He realized he needed to move. He left his apartment and moved in temporarily with the girl he had met just a few months ago. Her name was Sammy, a fellow streamer in the Overwatch community, better known as Adept. With a new setup and a new apartment, Felix once again went live.
It's what time is it? 10? I think it's time to go again.
And from the outside, nothing looked wrong. If anything, it looked better than usual.
Is this working, boys, or what?
He was streaming more than ever, laughing
Essa daí acabou com o cara, né, mano? Mulher é foda. Mulheres, desculpa, mas mulher é foda, viu?
more than ever, making more money than ever.
Does that look like a shark?
Every month, the numbers continued to climb. The chat was bigger, the clips were everywhere, and Twitch was basically becoming his playground. Eventually, Felix found a new place, something more permanent, and Adept moved in with him. Online, they insisted they were just roommates, but whenever they were on stream together, they didn't exactly look like
Pior que era mó daorinha ver os dois, mano. Os dois pareciam funcionar muito bem, mas... É foda, mano. A mudança de um relacionamento de, tipo, ser muito incrível pra uma merda é muito foda. É por isso que, tipo assim, mano... Pelo menos experiência minha, mano. Antes de qualquer coisa, velho. Antes de qualquer coisa, você tem que conviver com a pessoa que tu gosta, mano. Durante anos e anos e anos, de toda forma. Ter brigas e ter discussões e ter vários problemas. Pra você entender se é essa pessoa mesmo. Porque, mano, se você quer essa pessoa pra conseguir, tá ligado? E ter um relacionamento, uma vida, um casamento pra estar a todo tempo, até o fim da sua vida, até velhinho. Só dessa forma, mano. Não dá.
just roommates.
É foda, é foda. Conviver com pessoa é foda, mano. É que nem os caras que faz também casa de youtuber aí, essas porra, mano. Os caras, é muito fã, eu adoro, a gente se diverte muito jogando jogos em vídeo, fazendo vídeos na internet. Vamos fazer uma mansão de youtubers. Chega lá, os caras não dá pra conviver. Os caras é bizarro, tá ligado? Foda, convivência é foda, mano. Convivência é foda. Não é maturidade, mano. Você pode ter maturidade que seja. Não é maturidade que tira, não. É convivência, é vivência, é vida, é tempo. É ter tempo. Não é 1 ou 2 anos que vai fazer você entender tudo sobre a pessoa. Primeiro, não é só questão de, tipo, você ter anos também. Você tem que saber todos os segredos da vida da pessoa, não importa o mais merda que seja e mais bizarro que seja, pra você entender quem é a pessoa e você fala, pô, eu quero essa pessoa pra minha vida toda. É isso, mano. É isso, não pode ter segredos nenhum, velho. Se você acha que essa pessoa é a pessoa e fala, mano, eu quero ficar velhinho, até velhinho com você, tem que ser dessa forma. Senão você sabe que um dia vai terminar. Mano, aí você olha vários relacionamentos aí que pessoas falam de famosos aí, ou pessoas aí na internet você acha que é incrível e termina. Porque deve ter, mano, ou foi traição, ou foi, mas não era a pessoa, mano, tá ligado? É isso. Aí tu vê como que era a garota. O ex também já é um retardado, né? Mas o que essa garota era, aí você fala, fudeu. Ele se fudeu, ele caiu numa merda. Tá ligado?
Sweet. 2 streamers building a life
E eu não sei se ela pegou a porcentagem dele. Deve ter pegado o dinheiro pra cara dele no...
off with the same madness. They joke on stream, sometimes
É
argue.
porque, mano, você olha lá e fala, caraca, eles são engraçados e se divertem muito. Nossa, eles são perfeitinhos. Claro, no momento de felicidade é isso, mas no momento de brigas e tristezas, né, mano?
But the infinitely parasocial chat would eat it up. It felt like a look into his real life. And maybe that's why nobody thought twice
Não dura, não.
when things seemed off. If he
Não, dá pra durar mais um pouco, mas...
changed rooms, it was just a new setup. If he ended the stream early, chat blamed the bad sleep schedule. Little things you only notice when you already know how the story ends. From 2020 to 2022, it was the golden run. XQC became Twitch's poster boy. He was the single most watched streamer for 3 years in a row. He'd go live.
Caralho, o Gaules no rerun não conseguia nem encostar no cara.
XQC became Twitch's poster boy. He was the single most watched streamer.
O Gaules no Prime não conseguia encostar no cara em rerun, velho. Bizarro. Caralho. Mano, 8.000 horas e o X não fazendo rerun tinha 3.000. O cara no rerun 8.000, velho. Ele no 3.000, velho.
For 3 years
Esse maluco é o streamer 1 mesmo, não adianta, até hoje, velho.
in a row.
Esse realmente é o streamer,
He'd go
velho.
live for 10 hours a
O
day.
Kaisnet nem é streamer, porque o Kaisnet faz só evento, depois ele para por um tempinho e vai, ele nem é streamer. Pra mim, pode colocar Streamer of the Year, o que seja eles, mas, mano, esse cara é o streamer, porque streamer pra mim é isso, velho.
Grinding some random
É o cara que tá on, fazendo o que seja, o conteúdo que seja, a variação que seja, não importa, mano. Tá dia a dia com a galera, mano.
Game or reacting to whatever was
E faz conteúdo foda, faz conteúdo merda, e demonstra o que é e foda-se.
trending. Then go to sleep, wake up, and do it again the next day. On the surface, XQC was living the perfect life. He had
Porque, mano, você olha, pô, é mó da hora as lives do KaiCnet com os eventos que ele faz ali, com os caras famosos, etc. Mas é só isso que ele faz. Você vai ver a porra do desktop dele, é muito chato, mano. Tá ligado? Por isso que eu acho que esse ano nem ele tinha que ganhar o Streamer of the Year, tem que ser a porra do Speed. Agora o Speed, o desktop do Speed e o release do Speed é a melhor coisa que tem. Ele não precisa... O Speed tem mais influência no mundo do que qualquer KaiCnet que seja. E ele não chama um monte de famoso, velho. Porque se quiser o Speed, ele chama qualquer famoso. Os famosos imploram pra hoje estar do lado do Speed, mano. Tá ligado?
the
E ele
fame,
não precisa fazer isso porque é muito mais divertido, é muito mais da hora, velho.
the dream car, the $1 million mansion, and the cherry on top of it all, Felix and Sammy finally told their fans what everyone already knew. They were dating. Everyone watching thought, damn, XQC's living the dream. And for a while, maybe he was. But in reality, everything was falling apart. To understand why everything went wrong, we need to rewind, all the way back to 2018. After moving in with Adept, the swattings didn't just magically go away. Somehow, within
Eita
weeks,
porra.
his address kept getting leaked online, and once it was out there, it was only a matter of time before the police showed up at his door.
Dude, actually, get me the out of here, man. I'm so knowing all of it, man. Holy shit.
Não, mas isso daí é antes dele estar no... Não, não, ainda não. Isso daí é
I
old.
don't want to live anymore. Retarded.
Felix learned fast. After those first incidents, he made sure it never happened live again. No cameras, no chat reactions, nothing for the trolls to feed on.
We'll be on the move for a little bit, but it'll be fine.
Eu lembro dessa
I'm
cadeira,
not
cala a
gonna talk
boca.
about it too much. It's whatever.
But every time he thought he'd found a safe spot, something would slip. One day he'd be streaming from one place, and the next, somewhere completely different.
I'll find a way to get my stuff somewhere that's I can keep it safe. I'll find a way.
Sometimes he'd crash at a friend's house, or head back to Montreal to stay with his parents until he could find a new place. But none of it really felt safe.
Almost every day, the police came to our house with a full squad. I was genuinely scared that I was going to die.
Now, anyone near him, Sammy, friends, family, were in danger solely because he was there with them.
Just me being around people like endangers them. It's just kind of like unfair for others.
And the worst part, there wasn't really anything he could do about it. The more famous he got, the bigger the audience became, and the more dangerous that 1% of it became too.
I don't know what the is wrong with you guys. I don't know what the is wrong.
Esse é o setup do BO. Esse aí começa a merda com a ex. Puta que pariu. É o setup do Dr. Disrespect no fundo. No início da merda dele, né? Dos vazamentos da merda do Doc.
You absolute degenerates.
Moving became routine. Every so often came a new house with a new setup, and each time it looked the same. A plain, empty bedroom.
I just thought if I purchase a home and I'm the only person on the title, it's my home. I thought, what could possibly go wrong? And sometimes I realize like, it just doesn't matter, dude. I can't have shit.
Whether he had an actual setup or not, he'd start streaming regardless. He simply wasn't going to let that 1% of viewers ruin it for the other 99. Over time, he would slowly but surely fill the space. Sometimes it was posters on the wall, or adding a bed, cool lights, or maybe some plants to the stream room. But it seemed like the minute it actually started to feel like a home, like someone actually lived there, the cycle restarted.
Okay, well, I guess we'll move again. And we'll start it again. And hopefully, and it's probably gonna blow up again.
After a while, you could see it wearing on him. The sleep deprivation, the junk food, the constant anxiety, it all started to pile up. Somewhere in that blur of streams and relocations, the pressure began to break through.
XQC is, if you watch his content, renowned for being really, really bad at sleeping.
X has night terrors where he runs through the house screaming.
Felix started having night terrors, real physical ones.
This morning, I was bloody. Yeah, I did have a fight actually. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. When he wakes up to that, do you freak out, Adept? It doesn't scare you?
He'd wake up gasping, disoriented, sprinting across the room trying to escape something that wasn't there.
A Night Terror é um bagulho estranho, né, mano? Caralho.
And so, oh my god.
Olha.
I just wake up with no air and I just run. Dude, there's like holes in the walls because of it. Dude, look, there's one above the bed. Look at that. Literally ran straight into the wall.
Whether he was with Adept or staying with friends, they would have to pull him out of it before he hurt himself. But sometimes he didn't wake up fast enough.
I woke up and I hurt myself in panic. That's all. So I don't really know what happened.
O olhinho
But
dele
it should be
só.
fine for now, though.
Tadinho.
And even then, the very next day he was still alive. Because for Felix, stopping meant thinking. And thinking was worse.
In a way, when I go live, I have my own little sun or my little spotlight above my head, right? Recently, it's been like, spotlight goes off, and it's just darkness.
At one point, after years of this cycle, things got so bad that he started writing a will. He genuinely wasn't sure how much longer he'd last if things kept going the same way.
I had a bunch of bad thoughts. Things kept happening that were really bad and scary. I felt like I wasn't gonna live very long.
When he began going through what he had and figuring out where it should all go, it naturally fell to his family. But one name wasn't there, Adep's. And when she found out, everything blew to Kingdom Come. This was the start of something that would turn into one of the most bizarre and public breakups the internet had ever seen.
After that, things just kind of like started like blowing the fuck up, you know?
When Adept found out she wasn't included in Felix's will, the tension between them began to boil over.
Why are you raising your tone?
Because
You're raising your tone!
Really annoying.
You're raising your tone!
I'm tired of hiding behind this that you do every time.
Okay, can you understand that I always do this? And it's not target.
Oh God, here we go.
What started as a couple's argument slowly grew into something much bigger, one that pulled in Felix's
Por causa do testamento. É o dinheiro, né, mano? É o dinheiro, velho.
family and
É o dinheiro. Caralho, essa eu não sabia do testamento não, velho. Isso é real mesmo? Que ele tá achando que ia morrer, deixou o testamento pra família, com dinheiro tudo lá, toda a herança pra família, e não teve ela ficou assim. Essa eu não manjava não, essa porra. É real essa porra? Ai, é sempre money.
to fade.
Sammy, you called my family psycho, crazy, conniving ass crack. I blamed myself. You talked to me for 3 hours, blaming everybody else.
I do this with you anymore. You are not a victim here. You have never been a victim here. I'm done speaking with you. You are not a victim. Stop victimizing yourself.
I'm sorry. This got too heavy. I'm sorry. Bye.
Over the next few months, things only got worse. Arguments kept resurfacing, and every attempt to fix things seemed to just make it worse.
You're so cringe.
Sorry. See? Classic. Just like before the stream, you say an argument or say your remark, and you leave, and then you're like, I got him, dude. It's not how it works, though.
Eventually, Felix felt like he was cornered, like he had to choose just one, family or Adept.
I was cornered into choosing between family and Sammy, and unfortunately, what happened is that I kind of just chose family.
And that decision set off everything that came next.
Why are no other streamers talking about XQC divorce? Like how major it is. This ain't like some little thing. Like, this is major. This is having an impact on him psychologically.
After a string of public arguments and tense on-stream moments, Adept took things a step further. She filed a claim saying this wasn't just a breakup. According to her, she and Felix were married under common law, which meant she was entitled to half of everything he owned. Within weeks, the dispute moved from live streams to courtrooms. In Texas, official filings started rolling in, and the court stepped in to stabilize the situation while it played out. Adept was granted exclusive use of Felix's BMW and Tesla. Felix, on the other hand, was suddenly restricted. No more luxury spending, no gambling, nothing beyond the essentials. They were barred from entering each other's homes, and more importantly, forbidden from talking about any of it online. Essentially, a gag order. Once again, Felix was split in two, the version everyone thought they knew, and the one left behind when the camera turned off. But this time, the internet filled the void. Today, those court records are sealed, but back then, they were open to anyone who knew where to look. A few creators dug them up before they vanished behind closed doors, and with each new filing, the internet got another glimpse into the story Felix couldn't tell himself.
Jesus, fucking essas lives de retardado.
Hey guys.
How's it going?
What's going on?
This is Stephen Asarch, a journalist who's written for outlets like Business Insider and Rolling Stone, but more importantly, he was one of the first people to break this whole story.
The common law marriage itself always seemed really odd to me. Her only evidence behind the common law marriage was in 2020, they went to Canada and they told the TSA that they were married because that was the only way they were going to get in because of COVID protocols.
A common law marriage basically means you're married without the ceremony of license.
Caralho, por causa do Covid, o TSA vai passar para Canadá. Puta merda.
There's just 3 requirements. You have to live together, tell people you're married, and both agree that you are. But miss one of those, and it doesn't count.
Felix has never publicly made any sort of statement.
Miss one of those, and it doesn't count.
Felix has never publicly made any sort of statement that the common law marriage was in fact real.
I'm not married!
I don't want to bash Adept. I don't want to just say she was grasping at straws.
It It is hard to discuss this story without thinking ill of Adept, because if you just look at the court filings, it does seem fairly malicious.
Her whole document was all about, I need spousal support. Make them pay.
But, you know, taking her opinion into account, it was clear that she felt that she kind of built this guy up and kind of helped him reach the level that he reached.
Não. Desculpa, mas não.
Speaking of crazy deals, XQC, one of the biggest streamers on Twitch, just took a deal, a 2-year deal, $100 million with Kick.
Wow.
Everyone, when it came to XQC, was focused on the Kick deal.
What is going on?
$100 million.
This is a non-exclusive contract for 2 years, meaning XQC gets to have his cake, eat it too, and the baker.
It was and still is the biggest streaming deal social media has ever seen. Yet, somehow, it came right when XQC seemed to be at his lowest.
I understand that XQC can kind of feel slighted by all of this. Right. You know, I was watching the Impulsive clip earlier, and clearly, you know, this still kind of bothers him.
Felix, I gotta ask you this. Are you going to give all of your money to your ex-girlfriend?
Oh, man.
Adept, the person who had been in his life for years, was now the person tearing it apart.
The deeper you are invested with somebody, the deeper that you trust them, the harder betrayal will feel when it happens.
What started
Foda.
as a conversation about his will, about money, and what would happen if something went wrong, spiraled into something much bigger. And somewhere along the way, Felix lost someone that felt like home.
I wasn't the best boyfriend at times, but I don't think anybody deserves to feel that level of betrayal ever.
The fallout rolled straight into his family. Words were said, lines were crossed, and even months later, things still hadn't really healed. So he did what he always does when everything falls apart. He streamed, because chat was the only thing that still felt familiar.
At the end of the day, all I want to do is go back to this. I don't want to spend time enjoying the thing that this comes with, right? The status or whatever. All that shit is like, it's just f***ing noise. It actually is. It's noise.
Sometimes he'd go live and talk in circles, half-coded rants about things that he couldn't say. You could tell he wanted to open up. He just couldn't. And the longer that went on, the lonelier it looked.
Money just changes people, man. And people say it's changed me. You wanna know why? You wanna do something about me?
Ai, é foda, mano. Cara, o dinheiro é uma bosta, mano. Ai, cara, eu odeio isso, velho. Nossa, como muda, viu? Meu Deus do céu, velho. Eu não vou nem falar nada.
Everybody around me, just that's all they cared about is just money shit. When everybody around me starts caring about it like so much, right? Then it annoys me. Because then there's me right here, everybody's next to me, and then everybody's looking past me to whatever I have. And it's like, okay, well, how do I get the focus back on me? I'll just burn it then. Like that's kind of like logical conclusion almost. Sometimes it feels like I'd have none of the problems I have right now if it wasn't for that.
Over time, the streams got shorter and less consistent, but the outbursts and the drama grew. It was like watching someone set fire to the parts of their life that still worked.
I didn't change for the longest time, and it felt like that's all people wanted. So yeah, I bought really dumb shit. I wasted money on the stupidest thing I could ever find. I would rather see that money go up in flames on useless than being given to people that's all they care about.
After months of filings, restrictions, and silence, it finally ended. The court dismissed the case. The claims were dropped. No more orders, no more waiting. For the first time in nearly a year, Felix could finally speak again.
They just gave me the news that I was no longer in any significant legal battle, and it's all over. After months and months sitting in the dark, I actually had something or somebody tell me and validate that my brain was rooted in reality.
In the end, Felix never really escaped the chaos. He just stopped letting it define him. The cameras are still there. The chat still moves a mile a minute. But he's not hiding behind it. When he goes live, it's not to fill the silence. It's because he actually wants to be there. The line between XQC and Felix will probably always exist. But for the first time, it doesn't feel like a mask. It feels more of like a balance. He can log off,
Mas ele nunca foi... Mano, tipo assim, pra quem é muito dentro da comunidade dele, ele nunca usou máscara, não, mano. São essas situações aí que ele não podia falar certas coisas, porque ela tava em né, bagulho legal, né? Tava em... bagulho na justiça, mano. Mas ele nunca teve máscara, não, porra.
Appear for a while, and the world keeps spinning. The stream doesn't have to be his whole life
Ele sempre demonstrou os BO dele também.
And maybe that's the real win. Not the contracts, not the numbers, not the record-breaking
merda.
deals, but finally being okay with just being himself.
Bom vídeo. Interessante até. Legalzinho.